We talking expensive pain and not regular cheap pain. So I want to talk about Meek Mill and Expensive Pain, but before we get to that, to anyone who's new to the channel, I'm Brkeley Boi. I'm a Bay Area DJ. I post songs, playlists, episodes, and etc. And this is what etc. looks like. Okay, so Expensive Pain, the rap album by Meek Mill, received mid reviews. Currently sitting at a 6.8 on Pitchfork right now. Received no radio play except for on my show, Brkeley Boi Radio, on BFF.FM, 12 a.m. to 2 on Thursday nights. The overall reception to the album may have been pretty lackluster. The album did make headlines for its mature content, and I'm not talking about the content inside the album. If you had access to any social media in the weeks leading up to the album's release, you'll know that Meek Mill was under fire for the cover art of the album, containing images of bikes, cars, palm trees, dice, and naked black women in suggestive poses. But, you know, basic raps. Now, when I first laid eyes on the cover art, I kind of dismissed it. I thought it was in bad taste. I didn't personally like it, but I wasn't exactly offended by it either. And then after scrolling through the comments, I had seen reactions going from people praising the art style to people saying that it was damaging to the black community and specifically black women. But it seemed that the overall reception to the cover art was negative. Now, I want to clarify that all this outrage was directed towards Meek Mill, the rap artist, and not the actual artist of the painting, which is a black woman. Yes, Nina Chanel Abney has been creating contemporary art since the early 2000s. She's created pieces in support of the Black Lives Matter movement, and she explores race, gender, and pop culture in most of her art pieces. The Expensive Pain cover art is no different than any of Nina Chanel Abney's other works, and I'm sure the outraged individuals did not do any of their research before just blasting Meek Mill, but I don't believe that makes their criticism invalid. There is still explicit nudity, but I am saying that maybe there's more to it than most people would assume. I think people were quick to judge the album cover without actually giving it any second thought. I will say that after actually listening to the album, my point of view on the album cover actually changed a little bit. At first glance of the cover art, you get a glimpse of the exciting and pleasure-seeking life that most rappers experience. But if you look closer, you can see the exciting and pleasure-seeking lifestyle that most rappers experience. And yes, I said the same thing, let me explain. The album is called Expensive Pain, and on the cover, you see images that one in Meek Mill's position would surround themselves with. Luxury, women, palm trees. But right in the center of all these attention-grabbing images is a man crying. Now, why would that be? It's because Meek Mill is fully aware of what he's doing with this album cover. It's a critique of the way rappers have historically upheld the image of a superficial and immoral lifestyle, but have not gained any real happiness from it. Money doesn't buy you happiness, but this is something that rap culture has taught us to believe. So Meek Mill is not really trying to glorify these things. He is showing the trap that many young entertainers get lost in. Now, I want to get this clear. I believe the internet's reaction to the Expensive Pain cover art was hasty and unfair, without leaving consideration for any deeper meaning. But do I believe it should be advertised in the streets?
Look at this fucking bus! Look at this bus that goes by in my neighborhood! What the fuck is...
Nah. Marketing for the album included covering a tour bus in the cover art and driving around cities, spreading awareness and chaos wherever it went. I believe it's okay to be artistic, but not at the cost of subjecting the public to, albeit indirect, nudity. I couldn't imagine if I saw this with my niece and nephew while we were walking, and I would have to explain to them what they just saw. Okay, that's cap. I know exactly how I would handle that. But the point is, there's a line between artistic expression and immoral business practices. Nina Chanel Abney's art contains plenty of nudity, but none of her pieces are displayed in public spaces. So it's kind of different. And I think you're just asking for it when you use inconsiderate and inappropriate marketing tactics like this, but Meek Mill seems to be doing just fine.
I seen a white guy saying that, like, what happened? What did he say when George Floyd got killed? I know he was outraged about a bus and a painting that was on, but what did he say when he seen a white man choke a black man out for 9 minutes? Did he make the same type of video, or did he want to just zero in on that? No, do I think it's appropriate to have naked women on buses? No, I do not think that's appropriate. That can be changed, but Nina is a great woman. She's an African-American artist that represent black women, and a lot of black women support her.
I understand why Meek Mill chose Abney to depict the issues that he was trying to address, and I see the message that he was trying to convey through the album art, but I do believe he could have done so in a better way. I like to bring up a little artist known as J. Cole. On April 4th, 2018, he dropped KOD, which had themes around drug culture and the dangers that many young people were facing by indulging in it. And he conveys his message very well through his cover art, which was done by Kamal Haran. You see, both these album covers try to convey the social messages that the albums actually contain. But I feel J. Cole got his point across better without ruffling as many feathers. There were still people who weren't okay with the depiction of kids doing drugs on the cover of the album. This is actually one of my favorite album covers of all time. But at the end of the day, art is subjective. I don't believe that Meek Mill deserved all the hate that he received for trying to convey a message through his album cover, but I also believe that he could have done a better job at addressing what he was trying to say. I would like to know your thoughts down in the comments below. You can leave a like as well, and be on the lookout for my next video in this series analyzing pop culture outrage. Until next time, peace.